Lab Addicts Music
You know what
Group.
time it is? This is Conversations with Maas. Subscribe now. Lock in. Let's go. Real street, man, we watching Maas. Real street, man, we call on Maas. Real street, man, we watching Maas. Real street, man, we call on Maas.
Lab Addicts Music Group.
This is Conversations with Maas.
Lab Addicts Music
You know what
Group.
time it is? This is Conversations with Maas. Subscribe now. Lock in. Let's go. Real street, man, we watching Maas. Real street, man, we call on Maas. Real street, man, we watching Maas. Real street, man, we call on Maas.
Lab Addicts Music Group.
This is Conversations with Maas.
Lab Addicts Music
You know what
Group.
time it is? This is Conversations with Maas. Subscribe now. Lock in. Let's go. Real street, man, we watching Maas. Real street, man, we call on Maas. Real street, man, we watching Maas. Real street, man, we call on Maas.
Lab Addicts Music Group.
This is Conversations with Maas.
I always forget that I have the mic on mute. But it's your boy Maas. It's Tuesday night, and we're going to do something a little different tonight. We're going to step away from Puff Daddy, Trump, everything that's really going on, and we're going to talk about some paranormal things. We're going to talk about aliens, and we're going to talk about Bigfoot. I also have a couple stories and experiences that I have that I will talk about. What's up, YWG? What's up, Scorp? My girl, Scorp. What's going on with you? Bud Files. So, what brought this conversation on is I'm a night owl. I tend to be up usually till about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, either doing some work, playing Xbox, or driving Lyft. One of those 3 things I'm doing late at night, as well as I walk. I walk late at night, and usually my walking trail is I'll leave out my house, I'll walk to Cincinnati, across the Purple People Bridge, and then once I get to Cincinnati, I'll turn around and walk back home. And that's about 9 or 10,000 steps, because I'm on this mission to do 10,000 steps every day. Because if you do 10,000 steps a day, you can lose about 2.5 to 3 pounds a week. And if you really step it up to 20,000 steps a day, you can burn a lot of calories. But Sunday night, I was out walking like 2:30, 2:45 in the morning, and I saw something streak across the sky, and then it burst into like a red, blue, and white light, and then it was gone. And then it was gone. And I was like, I'm thinking to myself, who else saw this in the night sky? And I've seen things in the sky on other nights that it wasn't an airplane. I don't know what it was. But I do live fairly close to Wright Pat Air Force Base, so there could be some things flying around. You never know. But it just made me think, is Bigfoot real? Are aliens real? And we've been having a lot of things. We had that alien incident in Miami where people said that aliens were walking out of portals and walking around the mall. And all the police force in Miami showed up to the mall. And they basically said they showed up for a disturbance. But there were people that were at the event that said that there were portals in this mall in Miami and that there were entities that were walking out of those portals. As well, we had the alien that supposedly landed in somebody's backyard in California, and they actually looked at it. And there's just been a lot of, I won't even say weird things, because the story I'm going to tell y'all about what happened to me as a child might be considered weird. But I wanted to talk. I didn't want to talk about freaky sex. I didn't want to talk about Donald Trump and his daily threats to different people. So we're going to talk about Bigfoot, aliens, and whatever you all have seen. But I'll start off, I'll tell my story. It's two different stories. Two different stories. Uh-oh, Scorp's going to Florida next week. She's going to come back an alien. I was about, April Showers, how you doing tonight? I was about 15 years old, and we had just moved into house. And me and my brother's room was in an attic that was converted into a bedroom. And I always felt like I was being watched in this attic that was me and my brother's bedroom. So when we moved into this house, I would have these really, really vivid dreams, but they weren't dreams. There was an instance where I was asleep, I was in a altered state between sleep and being awoke. I was in an altered state. And I vividly remember there being 4 dark entities surrounding my bed. There was 2 dark ones at the bed, at the foot posts, and there was one that was on this side of my bed, and there was one that was on this side of my bed. And I couldn't move. I was sleep paralysis. And I was trying to yell, but there was no noise coming out. It was weird. I was trying to yell, and it was like I didn't have a voice. So these 4 entities took me away to a ship. And they were picking and prodding at me. I remember all this stuff vividly. Picking and prodding at me, pulling on me, and I couldn't do anything. And after all this analysis and pulling and tugging on me and pulling my eyes and looking at my digits and everything, they had this long needle. The needle was about this long. And I've always been I won't say self-conscious, but I don't let people mess with my belly button. I don't let no one touch. I've had numerous women try to put their finger in my belly button. I don't like anyone messing with my belly button. But I vividly remember this long needle, and I was trying to get away. I don't know. They had me locked or something. And I vividly remember that they were about to stick the needle in my belly button, and I woke up. I stood up in the bed and woke up, and then I was able to yell like, ah! And my brother jumped up and looked at me, and my mother yelled up the steps, what's wrong up there? And I explained what happened to my mom and my brother, and my mother just laughed at me and shrugged it off. Oh, you was just having a dream. Yeah, whatever. Don't be yelling out early in the morning. And I'm like, I'm not lying. This wasn't a dream. This was, and my mother was like, boy, if you don't shut up, what you eat last night? Something upset your stomach. I was like, and Jug, what's going on, brother? And my brother said, after my mother then talked all crazy to me and dismissed everything that I said, my brother was like, I got held down like that too. My brother was like, I got held down like that too. And this happened on several occasions. As well, y'all probably, I know y'all think I'm crazy, but I'm telling, I've never, other than my brother and my mother, I've never told anyone about this stuff. So you all are the first people outside of my mom and my brother that have heard this stuff. I have astral projected before. And it's weird, but I loved it. For like all through my years in high school, while I lived in this house and slept in the attic, I astral projected. And it was so weird because it was as if I was flying in the sky. I could go wherever I wanted to go. I was flying in the sky. I was going, and it was when I was flying in the sky, it's like I could feel the wind blowing because I'm going fast. I can feel the wind blowing on my face, and I'm flying like an airplane. I'm going places. I would be like, I want to go here, and I would be there flying around. And I didn't really know how to talk about these stuff. I've never talked about this stuff. I've never talked about this stuff. So, like I said, for like all my high school, from the 9th grade to the 12th grade, while I lived in this house and slept in that basement, I was astral projecting and I was having sleep paralysis. I was going to alien ships. And I vividly remember all this stuff. Never talked about it. But everything that's been going on around the world and all these giants that have been seen standing on top of mountains and things, it made me want to talk about this stuff. It made me want to talk about this stuff. But yes, I put a poll up, and the poll is, do you believe in Bigfoot or aliens or both? And I have never seen a Bigfoot, but I believe that there's Bigfoot out there. Because I got some videos. We're going to look at some videos. I got some alien videos. I got some Bigfoot videos. But yes, I've had weird occurrences, paranormal occurrences. And my brother has had these too. I know I'm probably kind of putting him out there because I'm not sure if he's talked about these things or not. But yeah, I believe in aliens and I believe in Bigfoot, even though I've never seen Bigfoot. I just don't believe that we as humans are the most complex individuals in this vast plane that we live on. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. And my mother told me it's because I've always liked scary movies since I was little. I was 9 and 10 years old, and I had older cousins that were older than 16, older than 18, where I could go to all these rated R movies, Jason and Nightmare on Elm Street. And this was one thing this generation will never be able to relate to is going to the movie theater on the Friday night that a movie came out to the 12 midnight show. And I had big cousins, so yeah, I was going to. And my mother said that because I was always going to these scary movies and being scared out of my mind, that I had a vivid imagination. Now, don't get me wrong, I do have a vivid imagination. But these things that happen, I'm telling you about astral gliding and seeing entities at the four corners of my bed, these are not dreams. These are things that happen in my subconscious. And I believe in aliens. I don't believe that man is the most complex individual on this plane. It's just not. I don't believe it's possible. But how do you all feel? So yeah, like I said, I had the poll. 10% of people believe in just Bigfoot. 10% of the people believe in aliens. 70% of people believe in both. And 10% don't believe in either. Wow, the conversation in the comments is okay. So Scorp said that she has had these things happen to her. I'm gonna go back and read these comments. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button for your boy. Share this video out. Subscribe to the page. I lost a subscriber last week. My feelings is hurt. I lost a subscriber. I don't know what I did last week to lose a subscriber, but I lost a subscriber. But we'll get it back. We'll get it back. I can let y'all know that your boy went over 1,900 hours. 1,100 hours and Maas will be monetized. We getting there. We getting there. Especially with doing these shows every day. I appreciate everybody that comes through. But have you had any interactions with the paranormal? Have you seen a Bigfoot? I've seen several things. There's this road that whenever I go to my mother's house, there's this back road that I can take that takes me all the way into downtown of the city, from way out in the suburbs. It's a dark, windy road, back in the woods, $1 million houses, but it's back in the woods. It's not a place. When you ride through these backwoods, it kind of reminds you of a Jason movie or Blair Witch Project. It's the kind of woods that it is. But at the end of this windy road out of the woods, you come onto a road that's parallel to the river. Now, I always drive this road because, for one, I like driving it. The view, the scenery, it's just a relaxing drive. So when I'm leaving, going out or whatever, when I'm at home, I always take this road. This particular night, it was raining. It was raining, and I'm driving on River Road in Louisville, and I see a muscular, I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was. I just know it was running on all fours. It was real muscular, and on the head it had like some strands of hair, and it ran across the. It was running. It was running like this, and ran across the street in front of my car, and I stopped my car in the middle of the road in this rainstorm. And I'm looking, I'm like, what the did I just see? What did I just see? And I'm like, was it a wolf? It was not an animal. It was muscular, it was pale, and it had hair like stringy hair. It was weird. I don't know what it was. But it was running from the river to the woods. Now, I didn't get out my car to investigate or anything like that. But I know an animal, and I know what's not an animal. And what I saw, they jumped across their street. And I think, as a matter of fact, YWG was working overnight. And I think I called YWG at 2:30 in the morning, like, man, you ain't gonna believe what I don't know if he might remember, he might not. But I called YWG at 2:30 in the morning and said, man, something just ran across the street in front of my car. I don't know what it was, but it scared me. I called YWG at 2:30 in the morning. The only reason I called him at 2:30 in the morning is because I knew he was working. And I explained to him, I was like, man, I don't know what I saw, but I saw something. I've seen several things. So my belief in these paranormal things and these oddities of the world is because I've seen different things. I've seen different things. Hit the like button. We're gonna go to these comments. So YWG said on 2 occasions he's seen green streaks of light moving very fast across. I just seen a video with that. I seen a video of that today. It was like 5 or 6 of them going across the sky real fast. Green streaks just going across. I saw that video today, and if you've seen that, wow. I saw a video of that today. Wow. That's funny you said that. I just seen a video of those green streaks going across the sky like that. We got April Showers in here. If y'all ain't been to check out April Showers, go check April Showers out. I don't know if she's still doing them videos of different characters that she used to do, but April Showers is funny. Go check her page out. She might still be doing the characters. She might not. I ain't been to check your page out lately, April Showers, but I'm gonna have to get back over there because I used to look at the videos of you doing them characters and crack up. Scorpion Mom said, there's a wheel in the sky and something drive it. Elijah spoke on it in the Bible and Farrakhan. I've never seen the wheel in the sky. I've heard people talk about it, but I have not personally seen the wheel in the sky. I've heard people talk about it, but I haven't. That's something I haven't seen. What? Oh, this new. Oh my gosh. We're going to pass them comments up. Scorp said that she's had sleep paralysis as a child. Yeah, I've had sleep paralysis. Has anybody else in the chat had sleep paralysis before? I've had it on many occasions. Many occasions. Oh, shoot. It ain't even Friday. Scorp talking about messing with us to made her horny. Wow. Okay, Scorp. I'm glad we have that effect on you, Scorp. Pushed you to go to Florida. Scorp said it also happened to her daughter 6 years ago. So these things really happen. The paranormal is real. Wow. Scorp said it happened to her as a child. Something was riding her. She got a witch on her back. Yeah. Juggernaut said the world is full of everything. Yeah, it's full of everything. It's all coming to light. Scorp said she I'm not gonna say she was scared, but Scorp said she kept a Bible under her pillow for years. Cause she thought she had a demon on her back. Wow. Wow. YWG said his mom told him that she could see death on a person's face before they die. And it's funny you said that. I was talking to one of I had an uncle that passed last week. And in our family, the men of the family are the pallbearers. We carry our family to the grave. It's what we've always done in my family. And I've had the honor of burying and being a pallbearer for my great grandparents. And in our family, we carry our family to the grave. That's what we do. So after we did that this week, one of my remaining uncles that's still alive said that he had went and saw my uncle, and he said he saw death in his face. But he said he saw peace in his face as well. So I believe that some people can see these things. Like YWG's mother said, she can see death in a person's face before they die. Wow. Okay, see now that's one thing about me is I'm not superstitious, but I believe in. So yeah, I got cousins that spit on the broom and all of those wild stuff. Throw salt over their shoulders. I don't believe in all that. Yeah. Ah, you swept my foot. I gotta spit on the broom. Okay. Now go sanitize my broom. Yeah, yeah. Scorp said you can keep a broom by your door because the witch gotta count all the straws or go through every leaf of the Bible. Scorp, you dropping some stuff. You dropping some stuff in the comments tonight, Scorp. You put a broom by your door, and the spirit has to count all the straws in a broom, or if you have a Bible under your pillow, they have to go through every leaf of the Bible. Okay. I don't know. I'm okay. I'm lost. I'm lost on them last two comments. I don't know what those are, but yeah. Have you seen things? I got a couple videos because we can't talk about these things and not show some proof because there's always going to be skeptics. There's always going to be skeptics about these things. And there are people that say that there's fake videos and stuff like that. But I got a couple videos we're gonna look at, and you can judge for yourself if some of these things are real or not. And we'll discuss it. This video is about 2 minutes long. Look at that in the trees. Look at that in the trees. Y'all see that? Look how tall that is. Now, this man's just pulling up at his job to deliver a truck. Look right there. And look how tall it is. That's not fake. Here we go. Look at that. I gotta go back. Look how tall. Look how tall this Bigfoot is. Look at that. That thing is about 10 feet tall. Look at his arms. Look at his chest. I would not want to come in contact with that in the woods. He had to see that. He had to see that. That thing was about 10 feet tall and about 5 or 6 feet wide. I don't know if I would get out the truck. When he saw it, man. When he saw it, and ran. I'm gonna take it back. We're gonna look at that again. Because you all think that was real.
The ancient Egyptians understood that they could use sound to reduce their weight and the gravity.
Do you think that was real? Do you think that was real? We're gonna go back to right field. That man turned the truck and saw a 10-foot Bigfoot right there in the middle of the screen. That's not fake, y'all. What y'all say? Oh man, he saw it and ran. What? You saw one of those kids sleepwalking, and then you walked in to check on him and he was asleep. Some crazy stuff out here, y'all. Some crazy stuff out here. Yeah, I got a video in Ohio. Because they said that Ohio is Bigfoot country. So we're going to show this video from Hocking Hills, Ohio. Because like I said, I believe in Bigfoot. I don't want to see one. I don't want to see one, but I believe in Bigfoot.
This whole yeah, focus is a big deal, right? Yes, man. Well, Jesus, I mean, like 4 minutes of steroid. Welcome, exposed. God, no. Just roll with it, man. Don't say anything. Don't be weird. But not saying something. I mean, to me, I don't know. What's the occasion? You just want to go fun. Why do you think Titan Sun just these ones are very nice.
Picked up a stick. Dude picked up a stick. Like that stick was gonna do something. What? Wow. So that wasn't him walking around in the room. Wow. That's crazy. I think some of this stuff can be scary. Some of this stuff can be scary. And I believe, and when you catch stuff on trail cam, you can't really deny that. You can't really deny that. Wow. Scorp says she got a big mouth, but she's scared of ghosts. Yeah, the dog saw something. The dog saw something. I don't know what he saw, but he saw something. The man saw something too. He picked that bat up, or or something. Do you see where? Look where the eyes are. The eyes are way up here. That ain't no bird. That ain't no bird, and that ain't nothing I want to see. That ain't no bird, and that ain't nothing I want to see. This weird stuff out here, you all. It's weird stuff out here. People don't believe it, but I've had weird situations happen to me in my life, and I believe. I believe in Bigfoot. I believe in aliens. I believe in I believe in aliens. I don't know what else to say other than that. There's stuff out there that can't be explained. What is a hank? What is a hank? Scorp? But yeah, it's weird stuff out here, y'all. For a person to believe that humans are the most complex beings on this plane it's kind of weird. It's just me.
You ready? Okay. Yeah. All right. Damn it. All right, go.
What the?
What the? Dude, holy shit. Did you see that? Did...
This dude ran to it. This dude ran to it. His buddy is booking out of there. I don't know if that was fake or not. I don't know if that one was fake. I don't know. 18% believe in aliens, 9% believe in Bigfoot, 64% believe in both, and 9% don't believe in either. Ah, okay. Okay. There's some weird stuff out there. When I was little in Louisville, they had this thing called the Goat Man. We had these woods in the back of, and when we moved to this neighborhood, everybody said, "Don't be in the woods at night. The Goat Man will get you." The Goat Man. But there were people who swore they saw the Goat Man. You got the Goat Man, the Dog Man. There's all types of weird beings that are out there. Now, I was in the Boy Scouts when I was younger, and I think I might have went camping one time, and I ain't never want to go camping again. Just something about being out in the woods in that little tent, and that tent ain't helping. I don't know what, that tent ain't stopping no bird. That tent ain't stopping nothing. No. Camping out in the woods, it's not for me. Camping is, unless it's a big group of us, and we camping, we got one of them Winnebagos that you open the tent up on the top of it, but you inside. But no, I'm not sleeping in no flimsy tent in the woods where bear are, or Bigfoot, or anything. No. It's not something I'm doing. Not me. Somebody else can, but it won't be this brother. That is for sure. Now, I done stayed in a cabin, and things of that nature. But yeah, I'm not staying in the woods for nobody. Not gonna be able to do it. Let's move on to the next video. Ain't no Bigfoot. Said big man. What the hell? What the hell they try to pull? Yeah, I'm not camping in the woods. Not me. Not this guy. Not this guy. So I found a video, the dog man. I said something about him. Yeah, the dog man. So here's another one. Let's see what this one's about.
Is that it for right? Is that it for right? Is that it for right?
The little boy was like, "I'm not walking up there." What is that, y'all? Is that somebody in the suit? Y'all know black people, we don't joke like that. We're not going to put a suit on and go out in the woods. Did these people really, did this family on a hike really see something? Did they really see something? Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. Coming up on 1 hour show. We're talking about cryptids, aliens, Bigfoot, Dogman. Do you believe there are things that are out there that are unexplainable? Or are you one of these people that believe that humans are the most complex entity on this planet? I don't believe that. And there are some other people in here who don't believe that either. And like a dude in a costume, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. said like a dude in a costume. So I had a video. A black dude said that he saw a mermaid. Camille, how you doing tonight? Camille says she believes there's other stuff. Yeah, there's other stuff out there. I'm gonna try to find a video of this black guy talking about he saw a mermaid, and I'm gonna let y'all listen to the story. Now the story is kind of funny, but he's dead serious. This black guy was dead, and he's been on Joe Rogan before, and said he's seen some things, but mermaids. Y'all gonna trip off of this story. Y'all might have tripped off my story, but y'all really gonna trip off this story. Yeah, this man's name is Tony Woods. This video's about 4 years. This video's about 4 minutes long, and it's about 3 years old. Shouts out to Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan Experience. His podcast is Joe Rogan's podcast is cool. I love Joe Rogan's podcast. If you haven't checked him out, go check him out. He has a whole lot of different things that he talks about on his channel. Yeah. So let's check this video out of Joe Rogan and Tony Woods. Tony Woods talking about he saw a mermaid.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
See, because that seems like everything I see on your Joe Rogan podcast, people don't believe me.
Oh,
so
they
that's
don't believe
why.
you.
That's why because it's
Don't mention mermaids.
I saw a mermaid.
Really?
Yeah.
When?
In Seychelles, Africa.
You saw an actual mermaid?
That's what it was. It was a swimming person.
Really?
Yeah. And
how long ago was this?
I don't know. That's Will Sylvans. It was
You think there's like a small population of mermaids that are out there?
But anyway, me and this little French boy, and they said don't swim in the lagoon after dark. Everybody's up at the bar, and so everybody's gonna go down. Everybody's kind of racing now. So me and him go down. Me and him get in the water. From a distance, you see something coming like a fucking missile, but it's going fast, and we both kind of stop. And then it turns and it jumps out of the water. And it's maybe at least 10, 12 feet long, man. And it do like this, and it look at both of us and go, whoo. The water was only about this deep. Didn't make a splash or nothing. And then and me and him turned the fuck around. We running, and everybody's coming down there laughing, got their drinks in their hand. We're like, no, fuck that. And the little boy in French, and his mom is apologizing to me, saying he has a very vivid imagination. He said, no, bitch, listen. We saw a fish man. And it wasn't like a mermaid. Didn't look feminine at all.
Like a man.
A fucking man. A fucking dude who said, get the fuck out the pool. Basically, he was like, do you know Aquaman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did it look
he
like
didn't go,
a
hey,
fish
get out
person?
the water.
Did it look like a fish person or did it look like a human being?
Came out.
Did it have
this.
scales?
It was kind of dark.
Dark like a dolphin?
No, but he had, the back of him was fish. The back of him was fish. His head was humanoid, eyes about so big. Then, if you Google it, the lagoons of Seychelles.
Okay.
And I ain't the first person to see some shit.
Really?
In them waters. And the guy who does the horseback riding, you can ride horses. And he said, how old are you? And I told him, he says, you're from America, right? I'm like, yeah. He says, so at this age, pretty much if you see a turtle and I tell you that's not a turtle, he says, you know it's a turtle. You're at the age, you know what you saw.
Right.
He says, people pay a lot of money at this resort. He says, yeah, it's maybe not a good idea to go around going, I saw a mermaid. And he goes, he's saying how long his family has been fishing in these waters. He says, and he's heard some things. He says, I've heard some things like what you say. He says, I've never seen what you say you saw, but it's not the first time I heard that. And I said, thank you. But basically, he was saying that if you ask me to co-sign that shit, fuck you.
Right. But
you're gonna be crazy by yourself, motherfucker.
So who told you not to talk about mermaids?
Nobody told me not to talk about mermaids.
You said that.
I just said that.
Oh.
Because I'm like, if y'all don't believe Dakota's bear.
You definitely won't believe the mermaid story. Well, I definitely believe the coat is bear.
Yeah, I got it from my uncle. It fleas and all kind of shit on it.
Tony Woods, thanks for being.
The man said he saw a mermaid. Scorp said he was on mushrooms. Come on, Scorp. You gonna say my guy was on mushrooms, Scorp? He was on mushroom, Scorp. Scorp said my man was on mushrooms. He's a comedian, but he said he was dead serious. He said he was serious. He said he saw a mermaid. Said he saw a mermaid. I know I saw something run across that street when it was raining in Louisville. I don't know what it was. It was I don't know what it was. It was muscular, it was pale, and it had little hairs hanging out, and he was sprinting across the street, running on tubes, running on fours, but I ain't never seen nothing run like that. I'll just say it like that. I don't know how he was running. He was digging. He was digging. He was digging fast. He was digging.
Anytime I talk about Bigfoot, it ends up with me just going, please, Joe, can you just say it's maybe a possibility?
Bears walk on two legs all the time. I have personally watched bears walk on two legs, and if I didn't know any better, I would think it's Bigfoot. You were telling me you're a Bigfoot guy?
Big Bigfoot guy. Anytime I talk about Bigfoot, it ends up with me just going, please, Joe, can you just say it's maybe a possibility?
Bears walk on two legs all the time. I have personally...
Yeah, I know the difference between a bear and a Bigfoot. I know the difference between a bear and a Bigfoot. Now, Jug said he got a video of a spaceship. The mothership, the one Parliament jumped out of, a real spaceship. So, here's another story about Bigfoot. Shouts out to Joe Rogan. Once again, Joe Rogan has one of the best podcasts. I love the Joe Rogan podcast. He has lots of different people on there. Yeah, lots of information that people will say is useless, but I love it. This man is going to tell his story of Sasquatch, and it involves camping.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
For people who don't know, the docuseries is called Sasquatch, and you look at it on Hulu, you go, oh man, it's a Bigfoot documentary.
Nope.
Not really. No, it's a lot scarier. How did this come about? Like, how did this project fall into your lap?
Well, the genesis of the project really goes back to the fall of 1993. I was visiting a buddy of mine who was working on a dope farm, and it was harvest season, which is like a particularly dangerous time of the year up there, but he kind of got me a hall pass with the guy that owned the farm and vouched for me to parachute in for about a week. And something that didn't make it in the show is that I went up there to do like a heroic mushroom trip with this guy. So the day before, the day that the ship went down, okay, we took about an eighth mushrooms each and went tripping around the redwoods. Now, that didn't make it in the show, okay? But that night, as we were coming down, we were in the cabin, the A-frame cabin that belonged to the guy that owned the farm. And these two dudes showed up late at night, covered in mud, like splattered with mud, soaked, claiming that they'd just been to a nearby dope farm where they'd seen 3 bodies that were torn up, like mutilated. And these guys were freaking out. Okay, they seemed legitimately traumatized to me. They were exuding this like energy of like terror and having just seen, mutilated bodies, to the point where I was just trying to shrink into the couch where I was. I was like really not happy to be in that room at that point.
How old were you at the time?
I was 23 years old.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just getting going in journalism, and the owner of the farm kind of pulled them off to the side, and they were having a conversation in the kitchen. And when they were trying to keep their voices hushed, but these guys, they were so rattled. And also, like, I didn't know the signs at the time, but now looking back, I'm like, they were on crystal. They were tweaking, right?
Yeah.
And so they were going up and down in volume, but they were clearly saying that they just like seen these 3 bodies, and they seen like Sasquatch footprints at the murder scene, and they knew it wasn't a ripoff. They were saying because, it was all the weed had been harvested, but it was still there. Like some plants had been torn up and thrown around, right? But the bud was still there, like hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of weed if it was a typical patch. And it was like at one point the guy was like, "Are you sure they're dead?" They were like, "Yeah, are you fucking not listening to us? They were torn to pieces, man. They're fucking dead, And a Bigfoot killed these guys." So,
These guys. Damn. So what do you do if somebody tells you that story and you're in the middle of the woods, staying in a cabin? What do you do?
And he kind of like got him out of the farm and like sat down and was like, "Well, that was really fucking weird." And we like had a laugh, But obviously that story stuck with me for the next quarter century. And it was one that I told it around like a ghost story around the campfire kind of thing a few times.
Wow.
But then a friend of mine and a guy I collaborate with, Joshua Fay, who's the director of the series Sasquatch, we were just finishing up another project together, and he texted me out of the blue, and he'd become a fan of this podcast, Sasquatch Chronicles, right? And he texted me, he's like, "Dude, if we could find some sort of true crime story wrapped up with a Sasquatch angle, like we'd really have something."
What is Sasquatch Chronicles?
I don't even listen to it. I've never listened to it, but it's a podcast that's like, it's basically like people's reporting their Sasquatch encounters, okay? And so he sent me this text out of the blue, and I hit him right back. I was like, "I might have one." So he's like, "Dude, like, can you look into that?" So the next step was to get a hold of Buddy that was working on, that was working on the farm up there. Get a hold of anybody I could find that worked in the dope game up in northern Mendocino County. It was near a town called Branscombe that worked in that area at that time in the dope game. Be like, "Did you ever hear a story like this?" But our thinking was, we can't like do a series if it was just me hearing that story in that cabin that one night. But it's the kind of story where you think like that probably spread beyond that one cabin, right? Those guys didn't seem like the type that were going to keep that to themselves. Okay. So, after drawing a lot of blanks, we finally like hit this one sort of information ecosystem subcircle up there, if you will, where people had heard that story. And they were like, yes, 3 guys did get killed, but there's more to it, right? They were like, there's a story behind that, and it doesn't really involve a Sasquatch actually killing these guys. But I don't want to spoil the show for anybody who hasn't seen it.
For anybody who hasn't seen it, it's well worth the 3. They're like 50 minutes or so.
Yeah,
something like our TV show length.
Go watch the Sasquatch Chronicles. Yeah, go watch the Sasquatch Chronicles. But yeah, Bigfoot is real. Bigfoot is real. I most definitely believe in Bigfoot. What's going on, Marshall? We got Marshall in the house tonight. He said Bigfoot saw him, and nobody believed Bigfoot. Okay. Yeah, man, we on the paranormal tonight. Marshall, have you had any paranormal experiences in your lifetime? Has anyone, YWG has spoke about his experience. Swart Mama has spoke about her experience of having a witch on her back, as well as her daughter having sleep paralysis. Has anything ever occurred in your presence, Marshall. Tonight is the Joe Rogan night. Joe Rogan has the good people. Marshall said, yeah, plenty. So see, I think there are more people that have seen things in the sky, in the woods, than there are people that fake. Because there are fake stories. We know that there are people that will say stuff to get some type of notoriety, but it's too much information out there. Now you have people that are saying that the aliens are really the ones that are bringing the Bigfoots to Earth. Then you have the Yeti. Then you have all these giants. When Cat Williams said that everything would be revealed in 2025, I don't think he was just talking about the stuff that was going on in Hollywood. Lots of things are being revealed as this year goes on. Now they're talking, this is kind of off the subject, but now they're talking about a 100-mile volcano in the middle of the ocean that they think is going to erupt. It's crazy things are going on. As well, they came out today and said that basically there's nothing that can be done that's going to slow the icebergs melting because of global warming. They said we are on the path to break the record, and the temperature is going to raise. I think they said like 2.3 degrees. They said that if that happens, the worst case scenario is that the water's going to rise 251 feet on the coastlines. 251 feet. Marshall said he's seen things that he wasn't sure what it was, but I somehow knew what they were not. Exactly. I knew that those 4 things standing at my bedpost on those nights wasn't no human. That wasn't a human that was running across that street in the rainstorm, muscular with hair, muscular, pale with shaggy black hair, patchy black hair, streaking across the street in the middle of a rainstorm. I've seen things, and there's nobody that's going to tell me that I didn't see what I saw. These 2 eyes work. It's crazy out there. It's crazy out there. Marshall said exactly. He does believe, and I've always believed that there is more to this world than we could ever imagine. There's more to this world than we could ever imagine. Ever. We're going to get to this next video. Joe Rogan. He has all the good people talking the good stuff on his channel. Can't help it. I'm sorry.
Video going around recently of those potential mermaids on the side of that ship in the middle of the ocean?
No.
What?
What are you talking about?
Are you serious?
Potential mermaids?
Jamie, you know what I'm talking about?
Is this some CGI nonsense?
There is like a guy sailing on the back of the ship, and you can hear moans, right? Sort of.
So there's like, it's just a dude on a blurry cell phone video. It looks like a good cell phone video. And there's these things that are like racing on the side of the boat that are going the same speed as the boat. And there's like a tail or something trailing behind them, and this keeps up for hours. And then you start to hear whistling.
Let me
hear tunes. Is that you hear what sounds like one of them say "jump for me"?
Oh God.
Yeah.
How do you think this is real? There's no way this is real. Imagine if I'm being. This is like the beginning of a movie, right? You and I are having this podcast. We're being super skeptical, and then in the movie you find out there has been a very small group of mermaids that have existed, hiding from humanity because we have only discovered 10% of the ocean.
This is a fun world to live in.
Is it this one?
Yeah, this guy.
All right. So this video is a couple years old, but.
Oh, okay.
No fucking way!
I've seen that video.
I just threw this overboard. Y'all saw me throw it overboard. This. Are you fucking kidding me? That did not just.
Do something overboard.
What is this guy saying?
He's got a couple videos.
We just out here.
Seems like he spent a lot of time out in the water. You know?
That looks like.
So where are the mermaids?
Hey, this is a much longer video than I've ever seen. Well, that was one of the sounds.
There you go.
You hear the jump for me?
That's crazy.
I didn't hear jump for me. Did you hear jump for me, Jamie?
Not
It's one of those things that somebody somebody did the subtitles for it one time, and that always makes your brain register it a little bit easier.
He just has a few videos like this.
But where's the video of the mermaids?
Yeah, it was a part of the same one we were just watching where you heard like the squeal.
So in there's a mermaid?
Yeah, I think it's before this.
This one might cut it off.
I've watched the whole video.
Because this, what I have found is like smash cut
I
of
don't
a
know
few
what it
videos
was.
this guy made.
Swimming next to
That sounds
this is
like
like
a whale.
this is like a compilation. You know what? It could have been a whale. It could have been. Easily
bro.
changed my mind.
It was definitely mermaids, bro.
You know what? Whales do make that sound. As a matter of fact,
They do. They make exactly
also could have just been a
that
fat
sound.
mermaid. We don't know.
I just don't. Whenever one dude in multiple videos is encountering mermaids, I get suspicious.
But here's this. You know what? Your reaction right now is why I love to believe in ghosts, aliens, cryptids, Bigfoot, mermaids, all that kind of shit. Because imagine this shit is real. Imagine this dude had a real experience, right?
I love the idea of all of those things you just mentioned. I really do. I love the idea. Yeah.
I love that you love that stuff.
I fucking love nonsense. I got so high once I watched the Patterson Bigfoot footage. I was like, oh my God, what if it's real? What if I've been an asshole making fun of this thing forever when it's actually really a Bigfoot?
Yeah, and I imagine you've had that encounter, and the rest of the world thinks you're a fucking psychopath. That would feel so lonely.
But that moment only lasted like 15 minutes. The weed wore off a little bit. I was like, that shit is so fake.
This was a similar one. I don't know if you know anything about this.
I haven't
Matt.
seen this.
So this guy, I've seen this video multiple times. Supposedly this guy saw a giant on the side of a hill.
A giant?
Yeah, I'm trying to find the part where he can. So like it's something like this.
So high.
He thought he saw it, so he goes back and like he's looking for it. It looks like it's someone walking on the side of a hill. The perspective is very strange. Let me change the angle.
The giant one is a fascinating one.
But then the guy disappears. So he's making a bunch of videos on TikTok, and then he just disappeared, and everyone's like, "Well, what the fuck happened?"
Wait, I don't know if I saw anything in the video.
Where's the
video?
Where's
So,
the giant?
This is also a guy's making an edit about this whole story. Trying to find this very specific video where he's trying to find the giant.
So he's driving in his truck and he sees a giant?
Yeah, he's driving on the truck and he sees something on the side of this hill, and I don't know if on this specific one you can see it.
Like how big of a giant?
That's what it's hard to tell because it's this. Like,
I mean,
look
that
how
looks
far away
it
he
looks
is.
far as shit, but I also
Yeah,
don't
and then
see anything.
The one you can find, I'll try to find it while I'm
What
talking.
What are you looking at? Do you see something?
I don't
there?
see anything.
I don't.
There's someone moving there.
I'm trying to find the very specific thing, but there is it looks just like this, and you can see a person. Like you can see the silhouette of a person on the side of that hill. It's weird from this far away. You could see that. That's
I'm gonna be completely honest. I don't know what I'm looking at in that video.
Yeah.
Because like I saw the zoom in, but the zoom was in the sky.
It doesn't make sense to me either. I'm looking at it, I'm like, I don't see shit. Like, where is this supposed to be this person? These people, it's like blob squatches. That's one of the things that Bigfoot hunters, they just start seeing shadows that look like Sasquatch, and they're convinced, and then they convince themselves.
The fact that that show has been on for so fucking long.
They're still finding Bigfoot, bro.
Dude,
they're working
how do you
really
get
hard.
renewed with no results?
Here's a picture of what the video is. This is just a still shot.
Okay. I mean,
so
I don't know.
It's a perspective thing.
Yeah, I don't know how far away that zoom is.
Yeah, I mean that could be a 6 foot tall dude up there.
Yeah, I mean, also humans are 6'7", 7 foot sometimes.
That's not that big.
So they're claiming this guy died actually. Apparently,
the mountain guy up there.
No, okay. Apparently, he says, "All right, I didn't. This is not this video was supposed to be."
Okay.
He said,
Admission there was a hoax.
It was a hoax, and then he died.
Oh, you.
They found him dead.
Oh, he made an admission the video was a hoax, and then he died.
Yeah, I didn't know about that.
Oh, well, it's probably unrelated. The type of person who's out there
Yeah.
hoaxing giant videos is probably doing a lot of wild shit.
I would imagine
my point
so.
of TikTok was I think
Yeah.
a lot of people are doing that, making these hoax
I'm
things.
sure.
They were forced to basically recant the story. Yeah, it was debunked, but then they came back out and his family said that it was real. So I don't know. I kind of think that they may say that he made it up so that because basically they showed where after he saw the giant up there, the army came and put something on the top of that mountain, like a big container on the top of that mountain. It was a okay, and that was a trend. Okay, I don't believe Marshall. I don't believe that, Marshall. They just put a transmission tower up there after he saw that giant up. I don't believe. And he mysteriously, yeah, the CIA made him say it was a hoax. I believe that because there's been other videos of giants in Mexico walking on top of it. They made that man say it was a hoax after they killed him because he had video of people following him. Yeah, people following him. Now they may have done you don't do something like that and then you die. I mean, you can. People, die whenever, but I don't believe in coincidences. I don't believe in coincidences. Do you all? We have. Yeah, I'm thinking it was a giant because he showed the giant taking steps. I've seen the video. And then he put the video on there. He tried to go back up, and the FBI stopped him and told him, don't come back up there no more. Then they started following him. Yeah, then they came and put a big container on top of that mountain transmission tower. All right, nah. And then the man dies. Some stuff they don't want out there. Some stuff they don't. I believe there's stuff out there that we can't even imagine. Believe me, I believe that there's super soldiers out there. I believe that I believe that there's already people walking around here that can rip arms off and yeah. I believe that. Yeah, there's super soldiers out here. There's super soldiers out here. I believe Bigfoot, aliens. Yeah, they told them to shut up. A.M. Brown, how you doing tonight? But yeah, we're talking about aliens, Bigfoot, and dog man, mermaids. We're talking about paranormal things. That's what we're discussing tonight. And if you've ever had any experiences with these paranormal things. The person in the background that hit me, this is my t-shirt. This is my t-shirt from the Plugs I Met tour, Benny the Butcher. The Plugs I Met tour. That's what this shirt is. I guess this man right here is one of the Plugs, but yeah. This t-shirt is from Benny the Butcher's tour, the Plugs I Met tour. Yeah. I went to go see Benny the Butcher. So that's what this t-shirt is. That's why I got this Italian looking man on my chest. It's the Plug. But yes, I have had experiences with the paranormal all throughout my younger years in life. Yes. So I believe in that's good. That's good. Yeah. We always got to check on you, A.M. Brown. You family. You family. You just start coming around, but you're family. So yeah. But there are people in here that have had experiences with the paranormal. My place that I stay in now, not that I've had a whole lot of women over here, but there's been a couple women that have said that my place is haunted. And I do believe that this place is haunted because both females that said that my place was haunted said that it was a female in here. And I don't know what happened, but one time I have a room upstairs that I use as my closet. And one day I was in there and I had a shirt on, but I don't know what, but something scratched the heck out of me through my shirt to the point where if I took my shirt off, you would see a scratch on my chest. I don't know which side it's on, but there's a scratch on my chest that to this day, I don't know how I got that scratch. Something scratched me when I was in that attic. But yeah. Sometimes my place will get freezing cold out of nowhere. Freezing cold. It could be 80 degrees outside, and for some reason, one of these rooms will be ice cold. Not ice cold, but cold. So, yeah, but the ghost don't never bother me. I felt her. There are times when I feel her in here. My body, I'm intuitive with myself like this. So but I'm not fearful. I'm not fearful because ain't no weird stuff happen. Sometimes I hear a couple bumps upstairs or whatever, but it don't even faze me. And I guess it doesn't faze me because the things that happened to me in my youth. Because she scratched. I don't know what I did, but she scratched the out of my chest. Yeah, I don't know what's. Yeah, she scratched out of me. But yeah, two females that have been over my house have said that my place is haunted. And one female was like, she would try to cook. She would try to use appliances, and she said that the appliances wouldn't let her work. And then I would come in and turn the appliance on. Yeah. Sometimes my printer will just start going. It'll just whatever is going. It'll just go off in the middle of the night. It'll just keep going off in the middle of the night. It'll just keep. I've tried to cut it off sometimes and it won't cut off. It'll just keep on going through whatever it's going through. My TV cuts on by itself. One night my TV cut on and the volume just went all the way up to 99. I'm sitting. I'm sleeping on my chase. My TV comes on and gradually goes up to 99 while I'm just, and I have to get up, find the remote, and and cut it off. And yeah, so there's been little weird things that occur in my apartment, but like I said, it don't bother me. Whatever entity is in here doesn't really have a problem with me. Because one thing that I do know is that this area that I live in, this area of Kentucky that I live in, was part of the Underground Railroad. The Underground Railroad Museum that's in Cincinnati is within walking distance of where I stay at. So like I told y'all, I can walk to Cincinnati from my apartment here in Kentucky in about 15 minutes. And there are, on the second floor, there's a couple of closets on the wall. Now the closets have been, there's been little things that have been changed, but if you look at the wall, you wouldn't even be able to notice the closet if you didn't pay particular attention. And it has a little latch and it opens up and there's a crawl space in there. Now, that crawl space, there's like hangers and stuff in there, but yeah. And then in the basement of this building, the owner told me that there was a back room and he knocked the wall out in the basement. So I think that whoever owned this house was an abolitionist, because there's just little, like I've seen this entire building. The house that I live in, it's 3 floors with a basement, and I live on the top 2 floors. The man that I rent from, his son lives on the first floor. But the top 2 floors, and yeah, there's different little closets and things that I think that this house was a part of the Underground Railroad. I really honestly do. Just based off the stuff that he's told me about the basement and knocking the wall out and that crawl space being, basically he opened up the entire basement by knocking that wall out. He turned that crawl space into extra space in the basement. And so yeah, things have happened to, weird things have happened to me. See, yeah, Laura Wise she's my good friend. Laura Wise is my good friend, and she used to be over here all the time. And yeah, Laura Wise said that the ghosts didn't like her. So she will attest that some of this stuff that I'm telling, yeah, I'm not lying about ghosts and aliens and the experiences that I've had. And she can attest that there is a ghost in here, but she's cool with me. Laura Wise said she's a possessive ghost. Laura Wise we would be working. Laura Wise helped me with my business. And I need your help, Laura Wise. And Laura would try to use different appliances to warm her lunch up or whatever, warm her food up, and it wouldn't work. And then I would go in there and it would work. So, yeah, I don't think the ghost likes ladies visiting, but she don't have no problems with me. So, yeah, I'm all good. A.M. Brown said, I got a female spirit and she's jealous. Yeah, but yeah, I've had weird things happen in my apartment. It's weird. Like I said, the TV will cut on and just turn all the way up. This printer, it's like she wants me to know she's here. She'll just start messing with the printer. The printer will just, nothing will print out, but it'll go through whatever. It never happens. But the crazy thing about this stuff is it never happens when nobody's here. This stuff happens when I'm in here all alone. Like I said, I'm a night owl, so I'll be in here at 2 o'clock in the morning, and my copier will just start going off in the middle of the night. Start going off. Now the TV that hasn't cut on by itself, and it's been a few months. But yeah, every now and then the TV will cut off, and I would be back. This is a different room. My bedroom is in another part of my place, and I would have to get up out of my bed, come in here, cut the TV, turn the volume down on the TV, cut it off, and get back in the bed. Weird stuff. Weird things. Weird things happen in this house. YWG said the ghost was preventing Laura Wise from burning down my crib. Nah, Laura Wise can cook. Laura Wise can bake. Laura Wise can cook. Yeah, so Laura, I just think that the ghost didn't want Laura Wise in there. The ghost was like, she's over here too much. And yeah, now Lord Wise is scared. She don't help me with my business no more. And the contract that I won, Lord Wise helped me win it. Scorp, you wouldn't know if I didn't. Scorp, you wouldn't even know if I didn't tell you. You wouldn't even know. Cause I don't usually. The only reason that I said something about it is because Lord Wise said it's a ghost in your house, and I was like, "How you know?" Because I already knew that there was a ghost in this house. Lord Wise was like, "It's a ghost in your house." I was like, "What you mean it's a ghost in my house?" And she explained it. I was like, "Yeah, you." And she was like, "Yeah, you." I was like, "Yeah, I know this." Yeah, she got mad and scratched the shit out of me one night. I don't know what I did that day, but through the shirt. That's how scratched me through my shirt. I took my shirt off. I was like, dang, it hurt. It was a big red. It was one long, like one nail just, and it was all the way across my chest. I showed Lord Wise. I've showed that scratch to Lord Wise. Lord Wise she will confirm everything that I'm telling y'all. Lord Wise might have been here when that thing did. Lord Wise, you're in the chat. You've seen that scratch on my chest. What did it look like? I'm talking about, and it hurt too. It was red. It was, one single scratch, like, whew. But Scorp, you wouldn't know. I don't know how Lord Wise knew, but yeah, it's not something when people, when people come over, I don't tell them, it's a ghost in my house. What? How you gonna get me to the ghost? How you gonna get me to the ghost? But Lord Wise will attest that, So I believe in otherworldly things. I do not believe that man is the most complex entity on this plane. I don't. I believe in Bigfoot, mermaids, dog man, goat man, moth man. There's some crazy stuff out here. No, I wasn't doing that. Men don't have breasts. I mean, we do, but yeah. We're not going to get on that. We'll talk about that Friday. We're not going to talk about that tonight. That's a Friday topic, and we're not going to talk about the twisting of, y'all know how I feel about that weird stuff, but we'll talk about that Friday. But, we got the poll. We got 12 votes. 8% believe in Bigfoot. 8% believe in just Bigfoot. 17% believe in just aliens. 67% believe in both, and one person doesn't believe in either. Here this dude go. Now, Well, I just let the ghost do what the ghost does. She don't scare me. She don't scare me. What? What? Who's gonna do that? Come on now. Y'all wilding out. You all are wilding out. But hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. Share the video out. Subscribe to the page. Hit the cash app. Hit the cash app. I ain't got no cash app, but y'all get the gist. Hit the like button. Wow. And Marsh Marshall said, and that one person is always the one they snatch. She ain't snatching me. I guess maybe I need to get one of them people to take a picture to see if I got something on my back. But I don't think I do. Wow. No, I wasn't showing Laura Wise nothing but that scratch that was on my chest. I said, look, Laura Wise, look what happened when I was upstairs. And she said, how'd that happen? And I said, the ghost scratched me. I said, the ghost scratched me. Laura Wise ain't been back to help me no more with my work. The ghost scared her. I was like, man, what is you scared for? The ghost ain't doing nothing. Scorp gonna say, I wouldn't stay in that house. Scorp, you wouldn't even. It's not, like I said, it's not something that I talk about because it's not. It's kind of weird. Maybe the only time that she be mad and messing with stuff is when a woman is over her. Cause I haven't had any company in a long time. And nothing's been going off lately. So I don't know. Maybe there is something to that. I don't know. But I think we've come to, I won't say consensus. Some people have seen things and some people haven't. But if you have seen things, you kind of know that what you saw wasn't normal. It's not of this world that we know. But there is stuff out there. There is stuff out there that you can't explain. There's stuff out there that cannot be explained. And I just wanted to talk about that tonight because, like I said, Sunday night I saw something in the sky that I can't explain. It was an orange streak and then it turned into a red, white, and blue. And it wasn't like it was an explosion. It was just like a bright light and it was gone. Like I said, I live close to Wright Pat, but that didn't look like nothing from Wright Pat. So I don't know. That is what brought about this show is because, yeah, I saw something and I've seen several things in the night sky lately, but the one that I saw Sunday night was like the biggest one. That wasn't a shooting star. I've seen some shooting stars. You know, you see shooting stars, but it's not like you see shooting stars on a weekly basis. And I've been seeing shooting stars and all types of. Now, that wasn't what I saw Sunday night was not a meteorite. Yeah, I don't think I've seen. What I'm saying is I've seen shooting stars, and I've seen if that meteor. What I'm saying is the closeness that meteor was to the surface. If it made it that far into the atmosphere, it would have been a sonic boom, and there was no nothing. Juggernaut said aliens have to see too. The FAA would find them? The FAA is going to find the alien. Hey, man. I think the aliens are showing who's boss right now. I think the aliens are showing who's boss right now. Tonight we had a really, really good discussion. Tonight was a good discussion. This was better than, I didn't know how this show was going to be received. Because, you know, you don't really hear a lot of black people talk about their paranormal experiences. But I know that I knew that I wasn't the only person that's had these types of experiences. But there's stuff out there. There's stuff out there. And it'll scare you. Because when you see something that's not normal, you know it's not normal. It's not normal. That's what leaves the etch in your memory. We've never been, you know, Score, trees are more perceptive than you think. Trees are more perceptive than you think. I'm gonna have to do a show on the Devil's Tower, and there's several things that they say are mountains and that are trees, that are gigantic prehistoric trees that were somehow chopped down. It's another show that I'm going to do. I'm also going to do a show on, are Black Americans the descendants of Tartarians and Moors? I got a little bit more research to do on that before I have that show, but yeah, be on the lookout for, are Black Americans the descendants of Tartarians and Moors? I've been doing some research, y'all. I've been doing some research, y'all. And that's gonna be a block burner. Because I'm of the belief that we were here. We were here before anything. I believe that Black Americans are the descendants of the Tartarians and the Moors. I haven't figured out which, but I know that the Tartarians and the Moors were like this. They ruled Europe. But yeah, I'm going, as well, I'm going to do a show on Jim Jones in Jamestown, and about how Black people that feel that they have no voice can fall for charlatans. And sometimes there can be dire consequences. So yeah, I got some shows that are coming up, you all. I got some shows. Like I said, season 2 is going to be different types of discussions. Still going to get some interviews lined up. But yeah, we're going to talk about different things. We're not just going to talk about the common stuff that everybody else talks about. That's deep right there, Score. That's deep right there. That tree is telling you something. That tree is telling you something. But yeah, we're going to talk about a lot of different topics on here. Lots of different topics. But the Tartarians and Moors, I got more research to do. And I really want to have someone on here who is a scholar, of a Moor scholar. Someone that can really, really break it down, because I can do a little bit of research and talk a little bit about it. But I would rather have someone that is a scholar of the Moor dynasty as well as the Tartarian dynasty. Because I believe I'm old enough where I remember what downtown Chicago used to look like. I remember what downtown Chicago used to look like. With the big, humongous statues of lions, and I remember all of that before they tore that stuff down. There's a reason why they tore all those buildings down. Just like here in Cincinnati, there was a castle. There was a castle in downtown Cincinnati that they tore down. They tore this prehistoric castle down and left a part of it to be an awning and entrance to the TV station. Now I've tried to look up stories on that castle, where that castle was. I can't find information on it, and I know there was a castle there before they tore the castle down and left the awning that is now a part of the TV station that bought that land. People in Cincinnati know what I'm talking about. Just anybody in Cincinnati that's in the chat, you know about that castle that was by Eden Park, where WCPO is now. You know about that castle. Yeah. Scorp, you got to go talk to that tree. Just think about trees that are 100 feet tall. Think about the root system that those trees have. I've seen videos of water pouring out of stumps. Trees are like the earth's elephants. Trees are like the earth's elephants. The trees they've seen everything. Trees communicate between one another. I'm gonna have to do a show on trees, because people really don't know the science behind trees. Trees are essential for life. Trees are essential for life. Scorp, you can say what you want to say. I'm still gonna love you the same. Say what you gotta say. Yeah, Marshall, the sequoias, but I'm talking about like Devil's Tower. Devil's Tower was a gigantic tree. And if you're a gamer, and you play Xbox, there's a game called Elden Ring. And the premise of Elden Ring is this humongous tree that's in the middle of everything that goes so high that you can't. Trees are the earth's elephants. Trees will tell you a lot about what has happened on this earth. You look at the tree rings. It'll tell you when earthquakes happened. They'll tell you when there was floods. Trees are the earth's elephants. And I'm going to have to do a show on trees, because just think, those sequoias are 300, 400 feet high. Just think how deep the root systems go into the earth. Scorp, I like when you be talking. I don't like when you be quiet, so keep on talking. But yeah, a 400-foot tree. Just think how deep that root system goes into the ground. I think that the root systems between trees are intertwined and they communicate between one another. I believe this. I believe this. I believe that, yeah, trees are If there were no trees, there'd be no life. Trees are, yeah. Trees and plants, there are plants that clean the air. Trees provide shade from the sun. I saw this one video where basically it said that the trees were those gigantic trees that we like the tree, like Devil's. If you look up Devil's Tower, you'll see that is a stump. Devil's Tower is a stump. It's cut off. But that root system is still alive, even though it's petrified. Waterfalls, those are mountains. Those are trees. Those are petrified trees. And those waterfalls is the water coming up through those root system of trees and comes out. Because those root systems go all the way to the water below us. And that's how you have waterfalls that have been running for centuries and no one knows where the water source is. They said that the water source that is up under us is 3 to 4 times larger than the oceans that already surround us. Yeah, I've been doing a whole lot of research for these shows that we're going to talk about in the next coming weeks. The next coming weeks, days. Yeah, I've been working, y'all. I've been working. More watch. It's like I got 3 jobs, y'all. It's tiring, but it's all going to pay off very, very soon. It's all going to pay off. What? Yeah, exactly, Marshall. Some of those sequoias are so large that they cut through them, and the trees are still alive. The tree has a hole through it where cars can drive through it, and the tree is still alive. You can't make this stuff up. Trees are the Earth's elephants. I'm going to do a show on trees. I'm going to do a show on these petrified tree stumps that people say are mountains and things of that nature. Those are tree stumps. If you look at them from the top, you'll see the rings. You'll see the rings. They don't want you to know that because you can tell the age of a tree by the rings that are in that tree. So if you can get on the top of Devil's whatever it is, you'll be able to see the ring and tell how many millions of years that tree was here. They put stuff in your face for you to see, and you don't know it. Elden Ring, that's about the great trees that were chopped down. Who cut those trees down? That's the story that we should really talk about. I'm also going to do a show on Nibiru, the black sun that they say is coming back. I'm going to do a show on Nibiru. There's lots of topics that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about it. There's different. We're not going to talk about the most common denominator. We're going to start talking about the least common denominator. Some of the stuff that people don't talk about. I was going to do Jim Jones tonight in Jamestown, but I didn't have enough research on it. But yeah, we're going to talk about the number of black folks that died in the Jamestown massacre. That's coming up in a few days. But yeah, I got some good shows. We're going to have some very, very good discussions going forward. But hey, we close to that time.
Lab Addicts Music Group.
We're at that time. I appreciate everybody that came through and listened to these paranormal stories. I'm happy. Okay, good night. Also, to commentary, comments. You all are the show. I just talk. all add context to this thing we talked about, as well as y'all have medicine. Like button, subscribe to the page, because this is where you can have adult conversations. This is boy, I'm out.
Lab Addicts Music Group.